Welcome to the stream, everyone! Welcome, welcome, welcome! I hope you're doing awesome. I hope you're having an amazing day. Happy Friday! Sending love your way, guys. Yay! But yeah, we're here. It's Friday. Tomorrow's Canada. We made it through another week. It's the weekend. Gonna play some bingo. Got me a glass of wine. It smells good. So I got lots of cool things going on tonight. I do. And I got some friends here, so let me go grab people in chat, my community, and then we'll get started tonight on some bingo. And I'll tell you some more things. I'll tell you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna win too. So let me go grab them.
Wedge.
Hello, we are live. Welcome everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
She's live, everybody.
Hi,
Yeah.
live.
Hello.
Hi, live. I'm dead.
Victor. I have
Very
with me
glad that my
tonight.
burp did not make it on.
So far, okay, Lady Rain, who's burping.
I burped.
Prince, who is here and here. Oh, Lady Rain's also screaming in chat. And we have Dreams and Jay in Michigan. Cheers, Michigan.
Hello, guys.
Cheers, chat.
Cheers.
So,
Cheers to you, lot. I've not seen you in a
Mhm.
hot minute.
Yeah, you missed out on Avengers, man.
been a hot minute.
We got no one to
We've been doing movie nights on Tuesday nights, yeah.
Well, I mean, I have to work on Wednesdays, but where are you at now? Like, what's your...
Avengers.
What's
What's the next one?
Thor Dark World.
Oh,
Thor Dark
yeah,
World.
Iron Man 3? No,
Oh,
Thor.
for Dark
Thor
World.
Dark World and then Iron Man 3.
Is that the one with the red...
Yes,
The
the
elf
Reality
elf?
Stone.
Cool.
Yes.
Well,
So, if you want to know what you can win tonight, you can win one of these lovely spooky stickers that are my painting in the background,
Gotta
sitting
win
right
for
there.
fun.
Sweet.
So,
Oh,
we're gonna
I'll put
play.
the A game on then, didn't I?
Yeah, we're gonna play, and you gotta win 2 games, and then you can have a sticker. I'll make it only 2.
2 games in a row, or just 2 games?
No,
Just
just
two
once you make it to 2. If you win 2 games, you get a sticker.
Oh, when?
And you don't get
I auto
multiples,
win
you
for
only
being
get
a
Hi,
1.
Lemon.
Hey, Lemon.
Hi, Lemon! Look, we're giving away stickers tonight. I'm so excited. They turned out so good. They're of my painting, so there you
Oh,
That is awesome.
Yeah, they turned out so good. I'm so happy. They're so much bigger than I thought they were. When I was ordering circle stickers, I didn't know they were going to be the size of coasters.
Did you accidentally do that or did Discord do it?
Do what?
No, I did it because everybody's frozen.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, don't shush them out, Prince.
Rose, let it go.
I still
let
swim
it go.
out.
Welcome to the family in, man. This is a family entertainment
No, my
zone.
daughter was about to get dressed into her.
Bullshit.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
in the
yeah,
Cat
yeah.
Live
Oh,
18
yeah,
plus.
yeah,
Like,
fair
come
enough,
on,
fair
man.
enough,
Fair
fair enough.
No. Yeah, no. Good job. Good call, Prince. It's like, no,
Yeah.
we're on camera here.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, no. Ow.
Montego, lay
Yeah.
down.
At least not the entire stream, but just some.
I thought you were just shushing your family out.
Yes.
Oh, Lemon. Oh, Lemon's camera went out again.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think she turned it on. Oh, and there she goes.
It's gonna look good.
She's
Alright. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and start up the room. So if you guys, the app is available on Apple and Android, and it's called the Bingo Room. You just have to download it and log in with
All the way
Twitch,
down.
and you can play. So if you're here looking and listening, you're more than welcome to play bingo with us tonight.
Yep, all I need at the moment is the
And
joint
win
code.
stickers.
Yep, me too.
I gotta create a room. Let's do this. Okay. Why is... Come on.
Lemon, can you leave?
Ketchup.
Everything's good?
I
There
can
it
hear you
goes.
guys. Can you hear me?
Here.
Yeah, I can hear you
I
now.
can hear you.
Yeah.
Lights
I don't
out.
know what's going
Yep.
on. My Wi-Fi is all
You
screwed.
sound good tonight.
Tell me what the join code is, and I'm there.
Okay. Alright, join code 750020.
I'm dumb. Can you say it again?
750020.
750020.
But if you've played with me before, it probably just let you right in by clicking on my name.
You know, I'm quite surprised I've still got this on my phone. It's always a matter of preparation. You know what I mean?
It's always on
Mhm.
my phone. To sit with.
You never know when bingo might just turn up.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
never know when you're gonna retire.
Mm. Still says join the game. We'll find
So
out.
do you have to enter it at the bottom?
They hit you with my
Oh,
kick.
you.
So sadly, I won't be
Interesting.
able to join until after Emily falls asleep.
Late,
No!
fall asleep.
I know, right? Like, oi, hurry up.
Yes,
Okay.
those exact words.
Wait,
Yo,
7-5.
Mom's in here too.
What?
750020.
Thank you.
I'm not saying any spicy words because Mom's in here too, and she'll smack me upside back in the
What?
like Gibbs, like Gibbs.
Oh,
My mom,
Big, strong
my
clap.
mom is my mom's put my daughter to sleep.
Right,
And-
I think I joined.
Are you fucking kidding me? I had to sign back in.
Smack.
They did that to me too with this song.
Whack.
It's been a while.
I'm trying to figure out how to join myself.
Well, do it up and we'll buy some.
Come on. You're supposed to send me a text message.
Man,
Oh my
it's
god, it
hot
marked
minute.
it as
Maybe I have to start.
It's taking a hot minute.
Alright.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Is it saying join
15
again
months.
because we haven't
Holy
done it?
cow. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know.
Is it saying join a game until you start? Curious question.
I don't know. This is the screen I have. Does anybody else have something
Negative.
No.
more?
No, I'm
Got
like
that.
in the room.
I'm
I'm not.
Room.
I'm in the room. I got a card up at the moment.
Play.
Oh, do you?
Join.
Let's cancel.
No, wait, wait.
Joining game.
750020.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hold on. I gotta enter the right code. Might help.
Oh my god. No.
Oh god. Well, usually I just go like enter because I'm playing and I don't remember how to do the code thing before on my end. I don't think I had to do the code on my end before. I think I just joined because I was
Cheers.
posting and playing on the same Twitch account. You know?
I will be right back.
BRB.
Okay, good luck.
No, I think you might have had yours favorited. That's the only way you
Yeah,
could get
something
in
like
without
that.
having to do
Yeah,
it,
something
but
like
it
that.
removed my favorites because we haven't been on in a while.
Yeah, they've had to. They're always doing updates. That's cool. I still got my special background.
So what,
My beta background.
I know you are on Avengers, but what Avengers did you say you're on?
The first one?
The first
Yeah.
one.
It's only been a couple
Hello!
weeks. So we
Hi,
were
Lena.
supposed to do it 2 weeks ago, but we all had a really bad day that Tuesday.
Fair play.
Hope you have a wonderful stream. I'm on my way to work, so I can't stay. Oh, good luck at work tonight. I'm happy for you.
Well,
Happy,
I can't
happy,
say
happy.
too much. I wasn't here for well over a month.
Oh no. Yeah, no, I remember you were out having fun though. So
Oh yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
I just want to be here for Endgame. I'll be honest.
Right?
I wanna-
Well,
Not a
So
while.
you can leave us out.
well, hey, there was one good thing that came out of that trip.
Uh-huh.
I got myself a girlfriend, so I'm alright.
He did. He got a girlfriend.
I just got to
told you
remember
to
not
call
to
my
piss
mom
her
that
off.
way.
Oh no. Hello, drink water. Mm-mm.
Well,
I'll probably pass on the cat ears tonight, guys, because I'm wearing cat ears. I'm wearing
well, I thought
Thingamajig.
this was- oh, sorry.
What? You're saying I gotta wear more ears? Is that what you're saying, Michigan?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Oh.
And more ears.
No,
Turtle's
I want
mommy.
to make sure you can hear me.
Oh my god.
That was
Hi,
okay.
welcome.
more ears.
Mm,
More ears.
Instead of
There.
4 eyes, it's like 4 ears.
yes.
Yeah. Octopussy?
Oh,
Hey.
You are unbelievable.
Person in the chat. Welcome to the stream.
Had to, I couldn't help
Alright, we're gonna go ahead and set this to draw 2, and we'll get started. O, 71, and N, 33.
No.
Yeah,
your ball-
jump
yeah,
in.
Only the first 2 balls.
Pay attention, Jesus.
Join us! Join us! Thank you for the follow! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Watch out for the pickle! Thank you, Turtle Mommy.
Well, it works for me.
Close the app and
Can't see your webcam very well right now, so I didn't realize. Feel free to not wear them. It's okay. I'll probably take them off and put them back on later when I like get hot and take the hoodie off. Then I can put them on.
Get in hot.
I'll let it slide this time because you're sick, but next time I'm not letting it slide, Dream.
Beep. Okay,
Yeah, I'm
two more.
You not thinking to reset.
I-26 N31.
Well, I'm gonna. I should send her my cards. So
B9 G56. I should be looking to see if I have any of these. Might be a good idea.
Look, can you win your own?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna kick y'all's butts, so you guys can't win stickers. I'm gonna win them all, and I'm gonna paste them all over my house. Yep,
They'll be free though.
put stickers all over my house. Thank you, Crowley. Thank you so much for this doll for 18 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are awesome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Watch out for Paimon. She will get you.
The dog's like, I want to play with the
Do you like my? Oh, Yumi.
So, I want to
So do
play.
you-
I want. Can I play with the dog for you? Okay, cool.
Lady, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the 37 months. I'm not as scared of emergency food. We need all the emergency food right here. We do. I'm glad that you know the truth behind Paimon. She is definitely emergency food.
Seafood need it.
Yo, emergency
I've heard
food, Paimon.
That's my philosophy.
Okay. N41, I-25.
So, wow.
I got one number. Yay, I'm on the board. Maybe.
I got one number. I'm cool.
N43, N44. 43, 44, guys.
I'm still joining. I think I'm out.
Yeah, I'm still up the top at the moment.
N37, B13. So 13 and
I think I'm
37.
This is. Dream, if you ever
B11,
go to a retirement home, you're gonna
I-17.
yeah. I'm just out.
You can do it. You can join. I-18, G47. I'll slow down for a second.
I literally dreamed about Dream a couple days ago.
You dreamed about dreams?
And then
Ooh.
So it is.
Yeah, well, we
What
played
was that?
poker.
Nah.
Yes, we did.
We played
Nice.
poker in my dream.
It's like one mention. I mentioned myself. Yes, I'm live. Are you gonna play? Are you gonna play?
You're gonna play
Rally,
it's what
B4.
That, dog sing.
Dreaming 59. Shit. I can honestly say that this is the first time I've seen anyone play bingo on a live stream. Oh,
Hey,
but it's worth it. It's worth it. The
Just
first
do a
person to
quick
get
time
2
and
wins
you'll
gets a
like-
sticker, and I have plenty of stickers tonight. So you get one of my spoopy stickers if you win twice. I will mail you a spoopy sticker. So this is my Halloween painting I did a couple years ago. I turned it into a sticker, and I'm loving these. They're huge. They're colorful. They're bright orange and purple and black, and I love them. So
Are you gonna play a scary game? Or what? That's also
I'll
scary.
trade you a cat for a dog. You want my dog?
I want the dog.
No, because
Yeah.
we already have a big enough dog.
B10
Take
O
that.
74. Are you trying to give away your doggo? I don't see that.
I will watch your dog for 1 month.
A cat toy, so she's basically
Hey,
O 72 G46.
man's best friend.
Maya, thank you so much for the
Oh, no.
23 months. You're huge and colorful. I am huge. Thank you. What did I do, Rain?
I can't see.
You are on big face.
You can't join.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem. Thank you guys. Thank you for the subs.
Well, you can still
Yeah.
chill around, talk to us, yell at us.
Of course.
It's been a long day. All my brain cells got used up way before 5 o'clock, so you guys can
Mine
put up with
was
me.
up for 10 years.
I didn't
I
even
was
have any
68
brain cells
B7.
today. I forgot what I was supposed to do at work until I got home.
Then he realized, shoot, I should have worked at work. That's weird.
Well, I can't do anything from
It was a joke.
for what I.
Oh, I
need.
forgot the shapes in X, guys, if you didn't know.
How did
You have brain cells? No, I don't. I only have brain cells that are optional. Just got home from work, lurk while making food. Ooh, bring us food. Bring
I'm
us
still
food.
working on it.
I thought you had
Takes
an
a
exam.
while to
That's the reason
graduate.
for the quiz that we got.
No.
I-23
The
075.
was when I started it.
Ah, I thought you had an exam coming up.
I did do it. I did do an exam.
Not
I got more brain
for-
cells, Bio. I do. Trust me.
I gotta be on that exam. I'm not finished with class though.
I'm gonna burn somebody's butt. That's what
I'm
I'm
proud
gonna
of
do.
you.
Don't burn
I
anybody's
could have
butt.
gotten an A.
I am.
Should have gotten
If you
an
We'll
A.
see.
If you didn't listen to us, you mean?
Minute again.
I didn't study enough before I took it.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm not
Oh, I did it too quick.
That's
Did it too many times.
well, that's what he said.
No, you're okay. I didn't take my meds until
G50,
right as
G51,
not doing
Yes.
great.
and 36, G58.
I haven't even made any spots on this fucking video.
I-22 and 38. Yeah, I thought I was doing good too, and then I forgot. Oh yeah, you made it an X, Mono. So you've gotten like 3. It's like, good job, good job. More brain cells, more like you. Share a brain cell with your cat.
With what cat? She doesn't have
My
one.
alternate personality. I'm just kidding. Meow. I don't know. I don't have a cat, so yes, I'm the cat. Or one of my neighbor's cats. I don't know.
I'm talking about taking the mama.
Yeah, the neighbor has like 10 cats. The mama is beautiful. B5070.
I doubt she
B2 I-19. What?
Cats in the stream.
What did I notice? Hi, Tank.
Slowly getting there.
That took a while.
Yeah, I can't hear people jump in, so no sounds when you're streaming. You don't get the bloop, bloop, bloop.
Don't worry about it.
And I'm multitasking with no brain cells, or 2 whole brain cells, or 1 brain cell.
I've been sleeping.
N42 073.
You slept well today, or last night, rather.
Well, then I want it for.
Yeah, I slept pretty good last night, but work is like draining.
I don't know how well it's gonna be being used up between 8 people.
Well, I'm about to say there's 7 days. That doesn't make sense. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. There's,
Well, I mean,
Alright.
it's walked away, so I guess we're sharing it between 7 right now.
yeah. So I'll get
Ah.
Friday, which is today, and then.
I'm gonna take turns. Okay, yeah, somebody can have mine today. I don't need it.
You're sharing between
B6
six of
and
them.
32.
For one
Yeah,
One
so
brain
we're
cell.
sharing a brain cell between all of us.
We're
Yes.
not sharing each other. That's
Does that make us like one of those hive brain things or something? So between all of us, we're a full brain.
I'd rather not be a hive mind.
B3.
No, we're all
I'm
hive
65.
already dealing with that in Baldur's Gate. I
No.
really don't want to be a hive mind.
Oh, that's what it.
Oh, 69. Cheers, guys. Magic number. No, you all share 1 brain cell. Okay, it's official. Cheers.
Yeah, when it, yep, I remember that. When it says, it's more like, 69.
Yeah. So I've decided this month when I'm not painting, I'm gonna try to wear some kind of outfit because it's October. So
Awesome.
I was gonna say, you should do a scary game where we all watch.
Yeah.
Tell you what we need to do.
yeah, that's on the list.
Tell you what we need to do.
Stardew
Go
Valley with the monsters out at night.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that so
I want her to
much.
play something scary.
I love the ghost.
We're doing fast.
So only one can have it at a time? No, oh my god. We gotta take turns with the brain cell? I-29B1.
Okay, so
Yes, you can have it on Tuesday. I won't go to work.
You get Tuesday.
I'll just stay in bed all day.
I on Monday so I can get through orientation.
Okay, Rain gets it on Monday. Lemon gets it on Tuesday.
Kimono, when did you get the sale?
G52B8. When did I get what?
The sale.
I don't know when I get it. You guys are.
Well, I'll take Friday then. I'll take Friday because that's usually when I.
But I stream on Fridays. Maybe that's when I needed it. I don't know.
Oh, jeez. This is gonna be a fight over one sale.
can I let you know something?
We can share it on Friday.
October the 16th is my birthday.
Oh, happy early birthday!
Thank you. But you've
You're
also
not
got
welcome.
the 14th, 15th, which is the Saturday, Sunday. I'm working the Monday. but
Punkaboo!
I'm working for 3 days. Like, I'm working on my birthday, but then I'm 3 days after that. Who's available for drinking on the 16th of October?
That's a Tuesday, right?
Now,
It's a Monday.
Not me.
Oh,
I
not
gotta
me.
work. And I'm working every single day until further notice.
I'm flying
It's
to your
not gonna
house to
happen.
drink with you, so I don't.
I was thinking that was a. Yeah,
I could technically celebrate the
we
weekend.
can hang out. Thank you for the follow! Thank you, thank you, thank you!
Around on Saturday that week.
I'm going to the moon that week.
Oops, cats.
The 14th.
You get a
I'm available on
coke
the
catch?
14th.
Okay. Well,
Alright, I'm still at this game. G57-067. I got a 57.
The 13th.
I'm literally getting every number but the one that goes this way. The X that goes this way. I'm gonna have like one line right down the middle. One whole piece of the X. One whole bar. I'm not gonna have.
Well,
That's like
Oh, 66. 116.
can I just say, while
I
you're,
16.
while
Yeah, I'm just gonna say 16 and I'm just gonna say the numbers.
while
You guys can figure out what.
and considering that I can't really join, if you don't mind, I'm gonna dip for a moment.
Okay.
And then I'll
Alright,
come
have
back.
fun.
Alright.
Okay. Good luck.
Just because I broke up with you 2 seconds ago and now you're gonna leave.
We caught Punkaboo Rain!
I know. It's because Turtle's not here to steal it from me.
Right? Two numbers.
Can you
39
go
and
up
40.
Somewhere else.
No,
I'm
we're
sorry I
right
didn't
here.
tell you, but I was kind of suspicious that you dipped to you so quickly.
14 and
I don't like your
55.
attitude. I don't like
21 and 12. I got 21.
I get the house.
Hold on. Alright, I'm missing some stuff, so hold on. Give me a second.
Alright, gotta hold up for a second.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Bye, Jeeves.
I'm all caught up now. There's too many
Missing
noises.
only one number right now. One number.
Same. That's why I was like, wait a minute, I'm not caught up because I'm definitely missing some.
Saying that though, I'm only 3 numbers away from filling up the entire
It's like, but
bloody card.
mom.
Okay.
literally just knocked over.
35 and 30.
Well, now I'm 30 because of those 2 numbers.
35 and 30. Nope. 60 and 45.
You motherfucker.
Turtle's mommy got bingo! Congrats,
Oh, no.
congrats. We gotta start keeping the tally. Gotta keep a score sheet here.
Completely.
Because the first person to get 2 wins gets a sticker. Yeah. Pretty stickers. I'm excited. It just came in the mail today. Literally, I just got them in the mail today. It's like, yes. Alright, so now we're going to do another pattern. Do I have to do rematch? Will take me back. Remove pattern. Doop, doop, doop. Yeah. There. And we're gonna do a T for turtle. T! Thank you for the 15 months!
Yeah,
Holy cow, Tiffany! GG, yes, GG. Congrats, congrats. Greyhead Gaming! Thank you for the 13 months. You guys are awesome. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. Cheers. More than welcome to join voice chat, you two.
No way.
Jump in.
No, we didn't.
You what? Let's see. Start game. Alright, gonna turn it to draw 2. Oh, I'm gonna leave this game and join the next game. Join rematch. Yeah. 63 and 29. Same code. Should be able to join rematch.
I say too, just keep the question mark up too, because it just shows what you need.
Right? 12 and 72. and 4. Now, if you guys decide you need a hot minute to catch up at any point, just holler.
I need a lot of hot minutes.
I haven't got anything yet.
Oh, we're not talking about life, though, sorry.
1865.
Get you a hot moment in Baldur's Gate if you would like.
Oh yeah,
Literally, if you need help.
Baldur's Gate. Oh no!
Oh,
I thought you were talking about the other kind.
Oh no, it does get spicy. Oh, it gets spicy.
Right? Me and Lemon got excited, and then you turned us down. 23 and 8.
Don't judge, don't judge.
She turned us down, Lemon. She turned us down.
No.
To be
10
honest,
and
I didn't
14.
hear what you guys said.
No, it's over. It's over. We're turning you through. Over.
We thought you were going a different direction on the spicy there. And we got excited. Mhm.
Nope.
It's like, it ain't my
Never.
spicy night.
13 and 3. $15 and 66. $5 and 25. Now I'm gonna get like the first row straight down, but not the center.
One of the things.
I'm getting almost every number apart from the ones that I actually.
Yeah, I got 1 in the letter T. 1. So it's 11 and 28. 22 and 54. I hear a Slurpee. Sounds delicious. Somebody's slurping. I heard a
I
Slurpee.
could really go for a Slurpee because 7-Eleven
Right?
has the pitch black ones right now.
It's a
But
citrus
I have
drops
to
through
try.
the
Remind me where I go to play. Oh, download the app called the Bingo Room. Just gotta download the app called the Bingo Room and join with your Twitch. And then you can play.
There we go.
Yeah! Thank you, Lemon. Thank you for helping.
And if you win,
38 and
you have to
16.
have a piss test.
So I give it a hot minute for.
No.
Slow down for a second.
It's requirements under the
Puddles.
bingo amendment.
That is not a scratching post.
A memoir written by every cat owner.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's a cheap futon, but I just hate the sound of his claws on it.
My cat just
It's
uses
getting
it.
tossed when we move next, so.
Oh, our couch is a piece of shit. I hate it.
Sounds like malware Mono just trying to steal my selfies. What are we talking about?
I did pay off my car today.
Congratulations! Oh my gosh! You paid it off earlier than expected too, didn't you? A little bit.
Yeah, so so it was supposed to go through December, but I decided, you know what, I have this extra extra money from my refund from school, so I did that and then paid the like 150 difference. So
Nice.
Not bad. I'm happy for you.
so that's an extra $200 in my pocket for
You're
the month.
the only one telling me to download some app. Download it. 17 and 74.
Whose music are we hearing? What am I hearing?
Looks like Tank's music is coming through.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm gonna have to turn him down so it doesn't pick it up on stream. Let's see. 35 and 67. $21 and 37. 26 and 71.
Oof, I'm not doing good on this pattern.
Same here on that.
I'm not either. 20 and 27.
You wanna turn the music down, Tank, please? So it's
Yes,
not picking
please.
up.
I'm trying. Let's see if I can get rid of that. There we go.
24 and 56.
I have the full line next to the middle one down.
Yeah, close enough. It's close
I
enough.
feel that.
It's just a sloppily written T.
Yeah, it's
57 and 34.
Me doing
Got
it.
none of those.
It's a toddler learning to write.
Yeah, me. This is literally me, so I think I win.
Now I can forge Michigan's handwriting.
It's gonna be blah. Yep.
Like hieroglyphic.
69. Oh,
69.
69.
Everybody.
Ah, man, I don't even have it.
39.
I had it. Because the board always.
If you're new here, we drink every time we get 69.
Yeah, it's just
68 and 55. It's a rule.
Classic.
And if you play golf with friends with us, the rule is the person that gets 69 is the automatic winner. Like
Yeah,
if you end the game with 69, you win. It's just that you win. 46 and 31. 62 and 53. Oh, got 62. I'm avoiding all the letter T. 58 and 50.
I need 4 more.
Urena's slacking, letting you drink, right? Yeah,
Just
I
one
know.
day. Unless she decided to drink more,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know.
You wouldn't know.
Well, yeah.
It's been a week.
I drank on Tuesday.
No. This is
It's
fake
a
news, first of
different
all.
week.
Yeah,
What?
that was,
Friday doesn't count.
yeah, this is
Yeah.
fake news. So
43, 33. Yeah, this is fake news.
yeah, like as somebody that was there, she was drinking water constantly. So
Drink the bottle, you won't. Hell no. I'll be so sick. It'll kill me.
no, she was drinking water the whole time.
I really can't
70 and
afford to
42.
Out there right now. I literally just paid the car off, so I can't afford a trip.
52 and 70. She can't come save me from myself, so.
And it was 52 and
I'm dying. Come
I
save
would lock
me.
the door. I wouldn't want her in my house. Just lock it.
Yeah. 52 and 7. 45 and 41.
I'm technically 3 away.
51 and 2.
I literally have 4 numbers left on my board.
I just need one.
6 and 75.
yeah.
Look at you, Rose.
There are some cheaters here.
Sweet.
I only needed 36.
Drunk test.
Okay, Rose, you're on the board for a sticker.
Let's
But if you get one more game, One more
I
game.
got the drug test lemon.
Thor's gonna fuck me because I have to
What?
go pick him up.
Unbelievable.
So
Oh,
I'm
no!
gonna miss a game, and that's probably the one I would have gotten second
Look,
one.
Probably.
the only thing
Probably.
I heard was Thor is gonna fuck me.
I didn't
Oh.
think that one through.
Oh, let's see.
It's like,
There we go.
oops.
Wait.
What's the code to join? 750020. Thank you, Ray. And the next pattern is the letter R.
Oof, that's a tough one.
Yep.
Gotta make things challenging.
That's your fault. You did it.
You're welcome, everyone.
I'm doing based off of the winner's first letter.
Well, then it should have been L.
Oh no, not in here. She goes by Rose on this, so she keeps us guessing.
She's still lemon drop in Discord.
Well, no, on the stream, she's Rose as a winner. Yep,
I should probably change that, huh?
probably.
Yeah.
It ain't that deep.
No.
Let's go, Kimono! Bingo's good. Wine's good.
Common of a name.
Cat ears are good. But yeah, we're playing some bingo. You want to join us? You just got to download the app. 15 and 43. I got one already.
Me too.
It's good. It's Friday, and I'm so glad it's Friday. How was your Friday? Also, Meowth, guys, poke catch if you're playing. You know what, Malith? Bio, we're not putting that number in. The app is Keylogger. No, it's not. The bingo room. The bingo room is the app.
I see
13 and 43.
with no player. It's missing.
Oh, that's Prince.
42 and 69.
Oh.
Oh, 69, guys. Cheers.
Where did Prince go?
Oh, 69. Hell yeah. What? Okay, you can, but I'm talking about.
I caught Meowth. I'm gonna catch all the Pokemon
My
next.
streams came back.
What?
I
What
thought
you-
he was clear.
What you on about over there, Bio?
Yeah, my channel has a lot of people, and I'm like,
We've made it to 9 in here. It's pretty good.
Never read the history.
74 and 65.
no, there's no such thing as that here. So.
12 and 41.
Here, I'll give you another conversation thing for your
Hot wings.
dreams. Let me find it.
21 and 53.
No.
You're so used to that you don't understand.
2 and 52.
I'm DMing you a thing.
Hold on, I got my feet.
I heard my name. I did nothing. 24 and 54. Yes, you did. You didn't download the app. That's what you didn't do. We need all your pictures. Wait, no. We need you to play so you can win stickers. Yeah, that's
But
it.
You need all the stickers and the stickies.
37 and 29.
Well, I have 27 and 39.
I forgot you can hit the little question mark on the thing to show the letter.
Yeah, that's what I. Okay.
Don't steal my feet pics. That's how I earn my side cash. I bet your feet are gorgeous.
I would
30 and
like to
8.
show my feet 'cause mine are pretty good.
Mine are
he must go get pedicures regularly. I'm jelly. I want to go get a pedicure. 50 and 61.
alright, I vote that Rose and Mono come visit me and then we can get mani pedis.
Yay!
I
Right,
think I
then-
won since we
Then
went
me.
Mono.
Me and Rose went, Rain. Me and Rose went.
No,
I
you
know.
get to go.
I know, I already had them done by the time I got to your house, so I couldn't go do it again.
No,
We had to do other things.
we did.
Nasty
Yeah,
image, like
me
a
and
90-year-old
Dean are gonna go to
man
strip
feet
club
that
right
died
next
like
to it.
20 years ago. No, that's gross. Are your feet that gross? Is that what you're saying?
Leicestershire.
48-23.
A lot of words.
7 and 14.
Worcestershire sauce is just as hard in English as it is for anyone else trying
Yes.
to fucking know English and know what the fuck that stands for.
Yeah, say it again 5 times fast. Go for it.
I can't
fucking-
speak English.
Worcestershire.
Say it. We want to hear it.
No,
I
'cause
speak
it's just-
American.
yeah. I won't lie to you, it's gonna turn into absolute profanity.
Do it. Do it. We want to hear it. I turned you up so stream can hear you.
Well, I'm
You got to do it for stream.
No, I feel like I'm on
I'm
the
gonna turn
spot.
you on.
You're on the spot. You're in the hot seat.
Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire sauce.
It's pretty good. It's probably better than I would do.
That was good. That's better than I could do.
I would have run out of breath.
I just went into the other channel and they were talking about like fucking like assisted Worcestershire sauce, and I'm just like, what? How the fuck do you get to that? And it's like, oh, Lanchester, Worcestershire sauce. And
Why
I'm
did I
like,
hear
what?
with your sister?
Like, is that even English by this point? And then
Right.
it just
1666.
much more than what it was.
59, 51.
Yeah, no. Anytime I hear Worcestershire,
Three.
that's the clip I think of.
49.
It's a lovely Easter egg in Assassin's Creed.
Do you know that?
62, 63.
Got the whole, like,
I didn't know it was an Easter egg in Assassin's Creed.
have you
No.
seen the new Assassin's Creed? It's in
I
Baghdad.
haven't. Yes, I know it's in Baghdad. It takes 20 years before
Yeah.
Valhalla.
Sometimes.
I haven't seen any
Oh.
gameplay.
Well, I've seen
So,
gameplay.
it literally just came out.
I used to a lot, Bio. I used to a lot. Not so much anymore.
It is very Assassin's
34-27.
Yesterday, so there's plenty of gameplay out.
Now it's like when I go to the beach. That's it. I have a new rule for you. Uh-oh, what's the
Well,
new
I'm
rule?
not talking about Ubisoft recording it.
45, 55. Ooh, I got a 55.
I also just have not gone out seeking for it.
Me neither. I mean, I've watched it on.
When you say a number, take a drink. No! 446.
No.
No.
I wouldn't even
That's a
accept
great
that.
drink.
I wouldn't have any wine left in 10 minutes.
We would be
Well, she'd be on the ground.
shit-faced in 5 minutes.
Yes, 47 and 20.
She's
I
on
would
the
not be able to finish stream.
Me, shit-faced? When?
ground. No, Pomona. She.
Oh,
1
no,
and
no,
70.
definitely be shit-faced.
If she done what?
No, if she had a drink every
26
time
and
she said a
18.
number, or when she said.
All right. Oh yeah.
He would be under the desk crying, probably.
Yeah.
When you say a number, take a drink. No. Why did I read that again? 75 and 38.
I'm gonna come beat you
I
up.
think you need another drink right now. That's good.
I probably do. Thanks, Bio.
Well, I feel like
Hydrate.
Lady is the angel and I'm the
Yes.
devil. Like,
Lay
drink.
down.
19 and 56. Who's for me and who's against me? Just everybody raise your hand for both answers.
Both because I got two hands.
Oh, there you go. Both hands, great.
Laugh.
I ain't no 40, but I'll raise a drink to it.
32, yes. 32 and 64.
Honestly, we should just chill. No, it's good.
28 and 17.
Do you know what I love most?
5 and 6.
The fact that it's still in like I love ever since
22, 58.
I
Going faster.
messaged you with what you said to me, what you sent to me was fucking on point. I love it.
40
Worcestershire sauce
and 67.
and Vikings. Me. Two things.
44,
One thing.
33.
that I like.
Ubisoft is so notorious for putting Easter eggs in their games, and I fucking love it.
71 and 25.
It's gonna blow your mind, and I really don't want to fucking destroy your.
Oh, we're playing bingo. You can
57
explore.
and 36. What? What,
No.
Michigan? You can
No,
explore
no,
what?
Talking to Dream. You know, because me and Dream are gonna have that makeup sex later.
Oh no. 68 and 9. Oh. Nico, Nico, Nee! Welcome, Dash! Welcome, welcome, welcome. You can't have it. I gotta give Bio cookies. Bio just won cookies.
No.
Cookies.
Bio can wait for his cookies.
Bio engine.
Add Bio. 1,000 cookies. Because I hugged the bot first. But yeah, hi Dash. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing awesome. I would cheer, but Thursday minimum. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah. Just recommend.
In 31, in 39. Oh, yes! Turtles mommy won twice. Congrats, you get a sticker.
I literally only needed 31.
I need
Well, I'd say
Congrats. You win a sticker.
I didn't even get a chance to hit the fucking thing.
You get a sticker on the board.
And I had my
Rain,
finger over it.
will you reach out to them in
Well, I did
Twitch
too, but it didn't
Whispers
work.
and
I guess so.
Oh,
pretty
no,
please?
we're in the same boat.
Right, I need a bio. Back in
Hey,
Fly out.
yay, GG, yeah. Was I too slow on the bingo? I did too. You got it too. Yeah, you just missed it then. Rainbow cat ears. Okay, we can do rainbow cat ears. It's been a while. GG. But yes, Lady Brain will reach out to you, Turtles Mommy, and tell you about how to get one of these awesome stickers for free since you won. You get one of my paintings. This is from one of my paintings. I can't see what I'm holding up here. There you go. They're so cool though. I love them. They're Halloween stickers. Yeah, I was waiting on 31. Literally hit it bingo in like 6.3 seconds. Yeah, it's only set to let one winner, so thank you so much. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, we're ready for the next game. And we'll do the letter U this time. Since we did the first letter of Turtle's name last time, we'll do the letter U.
I love their eyes.
Always on my keyboard.
Meow. Yes, do you have a cat on your keyboard? How are you gonna play? Oh, that's right, you're using the app, so it doesn't matter.
How's it?
This game is biased against Android. That's why I'm blaming. Oh no. Is
Cody, I've got an iPhone.
I really don't think it is.
Yeah, usually Rain wins all the time. Oh yeah, there you go. Turtles Mommy is on Android. So you gotta roll that out. Shush. Like, don't tell. Right? Let me have this. I mean, I do have an iPhone, so maybe I'm cheating. I don't know.
iPhone, that's just so egotistic. It's
Yeah, 49 and 8.
I guess I should have.
That's because I'm evil.
I have the orange phone. The eye orange.
I orange.
Yeah, it's the orange is the shape of the circle.
Alright. 74 and 47.
I want a dog.
28
I'm-
and
when
40.
I see a dog.
Do you see her holding the cat mouse in her mouth?
63 and 20.
Oh my goodness.
Aww.
Maybe maybe
Here. She thinks she's a cat. Yeah, that's it. She thinks she's a cat. Your dog thinks she's a cat. She's walking around with a cat toy in her mouth, but it's a mouse. She's holding it by its tail, and it looks so cute.
I don't know. It's just,
55, 31. Yeah, I read a children's book about a dog that thinks it's a cat.
Oh, that is
I wonder if-
slimy.
That would be a cheat.
Yeah. 44 and
Maybe what
18.
it is because they're drooling all over the toy and all that.
Cat is not going to be happy with that. 1 and 2. You drooled all over my toy. No.
My toys for what?
Oh, you guys didn't tell me I was still on Big Me. Dang it.
No, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, I'm totally on Big Me. And you guys
I'm literally
can't
staring
see
at
nothing.
you.
So if you have a 1, a 2, a 31, an 18, a 47, 43, 49, 28, 40, 55, 28, 44, and 74.
That's a lot.
Bingo.
I was on for like 5 minutes and I have 500 ads. What?
Imagine
Bio, what do you mean ads? We didn't at you. Oh, you talking about because you won cookies?
Ah,
That was one ad.
Well, yeah, well,
We can all spam bio.
alright. Shit, let's do that.
Spam bio. Add bio, add bio, add bio.
I'll just make sure it totals up to 500.
I got a hug and 2 for cookies. There should have only been 1 for cookies. I don't know.
So it did it twice because
Oh, because I ping it and then it does it. Yeah, okay.
Loki isn't a villain, he's an anti-hero.
Mine 'em. Poke catch mine 'em, guys.
I mean, he's not exactly Thor's rival, he just birthed him.
56 and 68. 50 and 35.
Well, Dream's my anti-hero.
Oh god.
I forgot to play. I haven't been playing my own game here. I said, here, guys, here's all the numbers, and I read them all out to you guys. And I pushed it. No, I forgot. Oh well. It looks like I don't have any, hardly anyway. My turn to catch up. I'm caught up. That's sad. 10 and 4. 25 and 45. $58 and $52. Oh, those are right next to each other for me. Look at that.
I didn't even have those.
67 and 38. Don't forget Minum. Minum's super cute, guys. If you're playing Pokemon community games, don't catch. 16 and 32. 42 and 6. 29 and 11. 66 and 57. Do you drink water? Okay, I got you.
I don't have any water.
I found mine.
My well is full of alcohol.
I've run out of both things.
Your well is full of alcohol.
That's great.
Yeah.
Then you should be rich. You've got endless alcohol in your well that you can.
Also, moonshiners live below me. Let's get out.
That'd be nice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for looking out for me. 60 and 3. And 72. 71. Which I have none of. 13. Ooh, I got 13. 27. 34 and 59. Don't need those numbers.
Nice, so close.
22 and 46. Don't need those numbers. 41 and 23. Ooh, I have 41. 15 and 12. I have both of those. Whoa, I'm catching up, guys. Catching up.
Streamer cheats.
51 and 21. Oh, 2 more. I need 2 more numbers. 39 and 61. Looks like there's several of us that are like 2 away though. So it's not just me. It's Mommy's
No,
Turtle,
those are lies.
Rose, Gray Hair Gaming. 70 and 64. 14 and 53. I needed 54.
Me
Can I
too.
get a 54?
No, you guys.
24
and
and 75.
48, okay?
I need
7 and
9.
48, and then we can all fight for 54.
9 and 54 is what I need. And then it's 5 and 17, guys. Don't push anything, Rose. I'm gonna drink growth and she's gonna be pushing all the runs over there. Don't do it. 37 and 33.
33.
Jay's cheating too.
9! What? I accidentally hit 3. Get stuff.
Oh God.
Everybody go fast.
19, 9, and 62. So I only need one more number. I actually hit draw 3, and I threw myself off so bad because I didn't know what I was doing.
I'll be fighting you.
Everybody's fighting.
54! Come on! It's the only one I need. Let's hit it.
See,
Ready? 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 All ready?
No.
No.
Ah, 69 though. Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Oh, well, I
I'm
just
out of my
assumed it was
liquid
gonna be
IV like
69.
the old lady I am.
Oh no!
Come on. Just need 752.
Blue.
Alright.
72.
Ready? Set.
Oh, we're all like
Or
one away.
754, sorry.
Ready? Set.
Hut, hut, hut.
Hike!
No. I.
Set the button!
36 and 30!
Damn it!
Hit the button.
Someone
Congratulations, Jay! Woohoo! Jay Slider with the win. I'm gonna put you on the board,
yeah,
Jay. Putting you on the board.
Tess will have to. Oh, you're muted. I believe.
I gotta pop out for a sec.
Okay.
I gotta go pick up Thor, but I'll be right back.
Yeah,
Okay.
make sure he fucks you.
Well, I don't have nothing to say here.
Alright, bye.
Speechless.
That was taken way out of context and not out of context. I can't explain. You only needed 7,
I don't
Cody.
know what to say anymore.
No, I don't know either. I don't know what to say either.
Hey, you guys do you, honestly. Who cares?
No, she won't. Never mind.
Well, she set herself up for what
Yeah, I know, and I saw
Yeah.
it, but I wasn't gonna question much. I will
Alright.
make sure my camera's
we are all
set.
friends here, and I'm gonna call you out on
Join the game, guys. 15 and 23.
Well, at least our camera's off, so just in case there's any fishing in the sea.
They're in a different room anyway.
So do you only win
Well,
dabs
maybe
if you win? I don't know if I'm
Maybe
getting
it's-
dabs or not.
in front of the camera and get some money. I don't know.
don't think so. So let's stop talking about it.
7 and 64.
No, I'm gonna talk about it for years.
Oh my god. 3 and 53. You can ask them when they get back.
I'm gonna ask him every single detail.
29 and 41. Oh my god, please do it
I'm
off
not
stream.
gonna ask every detail, but
No, on.
32 and 67. 61 and
I
50.
want to interview on stream.
You're gonna have to ask Thor the one question.
Sorry,
24 and 8. 24 to 8. 13 and 66.
So close.
21 and 60, guys. We're making the letter J. Letter J for a chance to win stickers. If you are just joining, they're gonna be these cute Halloween stickers from my painting I did. Ta-da! It's got a cat and some pumpkins and a tree, and they all have jack-o'-lantern faces. 73 and 5. You have to get 2 wins. 62 and 48. 47 and 1.
48 then, right?
No.
Doing quick math.
27 and 40. No cheating. 4 and 33. 42 and 2.
44. These are easy. Jeez.
59 and 65. I couldn't get the word out. I was like, what numbers, words are hard? Just couldn't get it out. No. There, words are hard. No, it's called that one brain cell that we're all sharing tonight.
We're
Is
almost at 300 times.
I know. 75 and 72. It doesn't count all the times we said it and we didn't do the thing.
Yeah. I know.
Should celebrate when we get to 300. Woo! Gifted a sub to Bingo! Bingo. Nice. Thank you so much for gifting 33 subs to my channel. Holy cow, bye. Thank you.
Brad, where do you live? I'm gonna make out with you.
You heard that first. Here. Michigan.
Who has to consent to that?
Michigan has a crush.
I will.
6 and 39.
I'll have some candles for you.
12 and 25.
It's gonna try and seduce him.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it slow. Just, you know.
Okay.
54. No, 45 and 58. Oh my god. Don't even, words are hard
Candles
again.
will burn slow too.
31 and 16. It should be numbers are hard. We need a different chat that's called
Yeah.
numbers are hard. 22 and 56. I had to look again. 63 and 19. Ooh, I got the 19. And three away. Looks like Alley Girl Crystal is only 1 away. Ooh. And a level 32 player. 11 and 28, guys. 11 and 28. And Turtle's Mummy is a level 76. That's awesome.
Jay, how close are you?
52 and 30. Oh, 2 away.
Jay, I want you to win so you can get a sticker.
71 and 44. Yeah, guys, feel free to join Discord if you like.
Yeah, it's yeah, there's people here.
Yeah, if you just like.
If you like.
Oh yeah, because Tuesdays there's open floor. Everybody can join chat on Tuesdays when we do movie night.
Yeah, get your popcorn, get your whatever you want.
34 and 69. Cheers.
We're doing timeline order for the MCU.
I probably shouldn't have any more
I wonder why you weren't being the.
And 37. Oh, 70.
James is
26 and 51.
coordinator.
Bingo! Congratulations, Crystal! Congrats on your win. Congrats! I'll put your name on the board.
The drug test to Kimono.
No.
Every single time you win, you have to get a drug test.
No.
Yeah, because they could enhance their bingo knowledge. I don't know.
They can enhance their bingo knowledge. Use bingo enhancements. Is that the thing now?
Yeah, cyberpunk style, you know? Who knows?
Yeah, you heard this in the mail? Okay. God, no. No, it's going to Michigan's house. He's doing the testing.
No,
I'm not
I
doing
wouldn't know what
it.
to do with it. I can't test it. Like, you know,
It's just like gamer girl bathwater, you know? Just
No.
do what you want and don't tell us. We don't.
I'm not gonna test that. You can test it. I'm not gonna test it.
I don't want it.
No, it has to. You are the streamer. You have the responsibility.
17 and 14. New match, guys.
I'm sad. I missed the cannon. Now it's just a little dot.
It's going to taste like Mountain Dew and sadness. Oh, that's what rains taste like. Wait, what? Never mind.
Hold on. What's it taste like?
I mean, it's not wrong, but it's so wrong.
She drinks his Mountain Dew and she's sad today. So that was all that meant.
What? Well, I wonder why.
5 and 40. Let's change the subject now.
No, I'm gonna talk about this for the next
15.
hour.
You would. Instant
I'm gonna
glitch.
keep this in my brain. Trust me, it's gonna be here.
Your brain, that's where Rain stays.
Well, on Tuesday, I'm gonna be like,
She
wow,
seriously
well,
tries
how
to
does,
take Mountain
how
Dew in
does
her
it
town out of.
taste?
She supports every business that sells Mountain Dew in her town because she buys them out.
Only
Well,
the real
Simone,
sugar
is it
though,
raining
'cause it's
outside?
so hard to find.
29 and 24. The real sugar stuff is the one she likes. Is that the one you drink, Cody? The real sugar Mountain Dew?
No, he's probably drinking regular Mountain Dew. Shit that's
Well,
31 and 40.
He's not drinking something else. I guess.
I'm not picky. 57 and 27.
No, I don't drink diet.
66 and 51.
Diet shit.
I've only got one number so far.
The only
16 and 4.
diet soda I'll drink is Diet Dr. Pepper.
It was 57,
I don't like it.
66, 51, 16, and 4. If Mountain Dew kills me, then I've led a pretty good life. There are way more things that will kill me first. This is true.
Just by breathing air is killing me. So.
Regular Mountain Dew fucks up my stomach, so I have to drink the sugar.
Yeah, fruit choice corn syrup's not that great for you. 9 and 18. And if you have a slow metabolism, it just goes straight to fat because your body just doesn't know what to do with it.
Your body's like, ooh, we get to eat this later.
Or never.
43 and 8.
Or never, yeah. I bet you did.
36 and 52. Uh, 72 and 32.
If I'm up for even 24 hours, like,
Still,
I'm lucky.
still don't know all the stuff you ingested in Iraq and Afghanistan. Oh, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. 58 and 60. 21 and 50.
21 and 50, just like
We were just eating and drinking to survive. 30 and 41.
Oh no.
Maracactus is been caught. Yeah.
Kimono, you got the. Let's go.
26 and 53. I'm not getting any of these numbers.
No, neither am I.
47 and 39. We have Jay and Turtle's mommy that are both one away. Hey. 28 and 67.
Okay, well, do you need the code to join this?
55 and 23. 75 0020.
What's it look like?
75 and 2. Oh, weird.
Is that the old?
Maybe delete the app completely and reinstall the app?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm about to say, we install it. It looks like the
Yeah,
old app there.
63 and 20.
Test, aren't you?
Yeah, that looks like the
Test
old.
Oh yeah, no, it's called the bingo room now.
Yeah, that's different.
The bingo room.
Yeah, it would.
22 and 6.
It's good that you showed us, because then we can diagnose it.
Yeah, because if not, if it was the current app, we could let people know it's not working. But 70 and 69, but it helps if
The
you get
bingo room. It's,
the updated version. 69! Cheers, guys!
I don't have enough food.
I don't.
That's the rules. I don't make them. I don't remember who made that rule. Yeah, I did make it. I just abide by it. I don't know who made it. 1911. That was too many drinking nights ago. The bingo room. It's a black square with like a yellow bee. 54, 24.
Well, no, because you had the test flight.
Turtles Mommy, congratulations! Congrats. You're gonna just be that lucky winner tonight that wins all the rounds.
Well, do you know what? I'm not there yet.
Congrats. GG! You needed 42, you were so close.
First round
You
in.
did 49 and 59.
First round in. Wait, I get back.
Or 50, sorry. 49 and 50 is what
GG, yes. Alright, we're gonna do just like a lowercase, no. We already did an R. We already did a T.
Do an E.
Well, L would be the next logical name, and the name turtle letter that we haven't done.
Yes, same code.
Yeah. L.
0020. Wait for this.
We haven't done the letter.
I'm fucking ready.
L.
Oh, I'm in.
Well, that's what he said.
Games. Yeah.
22 and 25. Yeah, you finally made it. You get to join us. Finally. Don't forget to hit the little question mark in the top left if you want to see just the numbers that you need to get.
Yeah.
Makes
I
it
say
easier.
just keep that. Yeah, keep that.
Then you only have to concentrate on the L.
Yeah.
How to sign off, hugs to all. Okay, good night, Lemon. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you. I hope everything is okay, and I will catch you guys next time. But yeah, you know we're here, and you're more than welcome to join us.
Don't take care.
See. Yes, tell Thor we love him. Yeah, that's what they're gonna go do, lady. That's it. That's right. You called it.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
175. That was the bet. 34 and 20.
I don't know anything about anything.
72 and 35.
I only got one brain cell.
4 and 38. $74 and 29. 45 and 12. 14 and 39. Give you a hot second to catch up. That's so cute, Rain.
I don't finish coloring it.
Colored a kitty cat with a pumpkin.
A moon would be a nice little gray there. And
28 and 60. 68 and 55.
58.
Hmm.
Boo.
56 and 63. 61 and 13. 9 and 36. Ooh, I got a number. 2 numbers, but yeah.
You got a number.
37 and 33. 26 and 65. 69 and 7.
Oh, hell yeah.
Cheers.
Brother.
Do we get 69 every card? I think we do.
No,
Cheers.
drinking and-
70 and 51. 6 and 5. What?
Poke her hand, yeah.
What?
I barely know her.
41 and
I
54.
never played poker in my life.
10 and 43. Gosh. 57 and 59. 44.
No, you don't make
71.
numbers without a plus sign.
3 and 50. 53 and 40. 47 and 27. 23 and 46.
Oh, you're starting to go fast.
What? But
One of these, the fucking, what you call them? What's he got going? What's he got going? Oh, you gotta get two games in a row, don't you? Or no, just two games?
yeah, 2. Or no, just 2 in general, not in a row.
Oh, just 2 games. Yeah.
48 and 2. 66 and 17. Don't worry, we'll have chances throughout the month to win stickers. The month of October, you will have a chance to win spooky stickers. Well, I don't know. I think about it.
Using her power
Think about
against us? Oh, I'm a
I
mod,
know.
so I can get it.
67 and 24. The thing is that she's a mod, she'll eventually win them.
To be fair, you're only a mod.
58 and 49.
Exactly.
The Shade's here somewhere. I think he's lurking. I think.
Just don't.
Congratulations, Turtle's mine. That's the 4th win. Cheat codes. I call hacks. I call hacks.
No, you can't. If you don't have bingo, you can't call it. It just gets it. So it does.
Hacks.
I walk outside.
Mine's broken. No. So you got it. You just didn't click it fast enough. You kind of feel bad. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You just have really good luck.
Send your year into.
And if you live in the U.S., you should probably go buy a Powerball ticket tomorrow night. With the luck you're having, you should probably go buy a Powerball ticket tomorrow night. Not sponsored.
You have to get the streamer.
You do. There you go.
DM me on Twitch or join the Discord and DM me there.
Yes.
Well,
What Rain said.
I always slip into Dreams DM all the time.
Yeah, with your mommy milkers.
No, with your mom.
Oh. Okay, we're gonna do an easy one. Add all horizontal and vertical and diagonal line patterns. We're gonna add all of them.
Thank fuck.
Hey, hold on just a minute. Don't get too
Hold
technical.
No, that's just the normal bingo.
That's normal bingo. You get a whole row any direction. Up, down, right, left, diagonal. You win. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
Got it.
Can you do it?
Oh, for sure.
No, he can't.
Gotta make it easier for you guys. Nope, can't.
You
You gotta join the game. That
5 more.
joining the game helps.
Show me the milkers.
Oh no. 17
Hell
and
yeah, brother.
60.
Oh yeah, you gotta finish that.
Yeah, you gotta push all the buttons now.
You have to pay first. before-
29 and 47. So in a way it's a little bit harder because you have to actually look at all your numbers.
Okay. You do know that you gotta go.
G54 and I30.
You just need to get good.
That's true.
You have to be good.
In
I
36.
train on bingo.
In 42.
I go to the store, I'm like, bingo.
In 32. Oh, 72.
So can't do it. Can't take it too.
B5 in 43. B1 G50.
Oh, I think I messed up.
B14 G40. I mean G56.
I know.
14 and 56. Previous numbers were 1 and 50. So let Team Mom win again. 4 wins! 4 wins! Lord Allen, 4 wins!
He's one of
You gotta get in here and you gotta change that. You gotta change that.
The alien.
Lord Alien. Yes, I'm bad. Where's the card?
Alien.
Welcome, Lord Alien. Gosh, this is number 300. Are you proud of me? Where's their heart? 300 times. There we go. Thank you, Lord Allen. Welcome to the stream. Jump in, join us.
Join us. You won't regret it.
Uh-huh.
It's alien.
Well, I'm gonna saved by the posture check. Okay, feet on the floor, do the stretches. Saved by the posture check. Change the subject. Team Mom is sitting behind me. Yes.
Cheating.
drink fluid.
Family hacks. She no feel good tonight. Oh, I hope all the wins are helping. I hope all the wins are helping. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I hope you feel better tomorrow. 25 and 39. Being sick is no fun on a Friday night. I got a cold. Ugh, colds are blah.
I don't get colds. I think it's an immune thing. I never do.
Oh, 69 and 73, guys.
Yeah, Dreams like never gets.
Cheers. 69 equals cheers.
Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong button. Button? Beer. Jesus, I don't know what's going on.
You know it. Okay.
No, I don't.
G52, B2.
Oh, I do.
So I was talking about this the other on today with someone, and not on
B8, G53.
For me, it generally happens when winter's going into summer or summer's going
I
into
26 and
it's
27.
to do with, like, I know that you like someone told me
The temperature change and
due
stuff.
to fall or it's like it's not really
G51.
it's always the
Oh,
same
74.
It's just kind of more like
Oh, I'm getting so close.
I get sweaty, yeah, I get hot.
I-23, G48.
Hold on.
B4 and 15.
Beam, we can talk about this later when you get hot and sweaty.
Here we go. Oh no. Surskit, poke catch, surskit, guys. Poke catch. I-21 and 22. B7. And then 070. I'm like 2 away in 3 different directions. I need a 3, a 24, and a 46. Yeah. No, I can win 3 different ways by 1.
No, she can do it.
66 and 18, guys. 66 and 18.
Oh my god, I'm so
3-way, yeah, 3-way. Congratulations, Crystal! Congrats! Woohoo! Yes, DM Lady Rain, guys, to collect your stickers. You can reach out to her in Twitch Whispers, or you can join the Discord to receive a wonderful, wonderful sticker. It is one of my Halloween stickers that I just had made. They're so cute, and they are of my original painting in the background that I did. I should get it, you know, I should get it up. I also have a cat onesie on, if you didn't notice yet, because I have my cat ears, of course, and I got a tail here somewhere. Yeah.
Wow, you did evolution.
I did. But yeah, this is what the stickers are of. They're of my painting I did a couple Halloweens ago. So, and this is what the sticker looks like. Yeah, I made this.
Yeah.
So that's what the stickers are. So I'm so happy. I just got the stickers in the mail today. I'm so excited. So that's what we're playing for tonight if you want a sticker. You? Yeah. So just reach out to Lady Rain if you want one. She's my mod. She's helping me out today.
Yeah.
All right. New net. We're gonna go to. We've done the letters T. Let's do the letter A.
It's not about.
Or should we do another easy one? I feel like doing another easy one. Free sticker. Shane cheated. He's got the free sticker. I know which one he wants.
You know what? I always forget about that.
You totally can do that too.
Yeah, you know.
I'm gonna put you down that you guys redeem stickers.
I don't think you won, Bio.
Thank you. I won a sticker, please. If you have 10,000 channel points to cash out, you can totally get a sticker. Alright, I think I'm gonna leave it horizontal in any direction for a while. This was just kind of fun to help it go faster. Hi, Shane. Alright, let's go to draw 2. B2 and 52. B2 and 52. 52. I'm saving up for Mono and a kimono. Yes.
I have enough for Mono and a kimono.
Same price enough for me to do it twice. B10 and 13.
No, I only have enough to do it once. Shane,
How much?
man.
Yeah, this was the Shane's got 400 shield points. I think we can get a sticker. LOL. Yeah. Oh, 69 and 18, guys. Guys, you got a cheers. 69. Again.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I'm gonna run out of wine. I have to take a wine break in a minute. 21 and 33. B1071. N43. G57. That is a whole lot of channel points, Jade. Just the one glass. That's it. I just been sipping on it. And it wasn't only like this full. I didn't even put that much in it, so I did good. I'm not going crazy. I just have no brain cells anyway because of work. Work killed them. I-25, G59. 49. 25 and 49. We were talking about that earlier, how, we're all sharing one brain cell tonight. We're taking turns with it, so apparently Monday it's taken by Rain, and Tuesday it's taken by Rose, and then Friday I think me and Michigan are fighting over it, so thank you for the drink water. Thank you. B14, I-24. B14, I-24. Don't touch me with all that suspicion look. It's a suspicious looking elf. Elf on the shelf looking emo. N39.
Glass again.
Oh,
so
67. N32, N38. I need all the channel points to make sure she keeps up her water intake. Great.
Yeah, I'm terrible about making sure.
I-27, G48. No, G, yeah.
You guys
Congratulations, Jay!
I have a cat noise.
Yes.
Jay's second win. Jay gets a sticker too. Congrats, Jay. I will be mailing you a sticker. So if I do not already have your address, just send it to me in my DMs in Discord.
Pin it so she doesn't lose it.
Yeah, pin it, and then I will send you a sticker.
Oh, yeah, say that.
Rematch. God, Jay. Okay, so we did an A. We haven't done a Y. But yeah, we're still doing directionals. I don't know why I'm even thinking about it. Let's stick with directionals. I like letting you guys win. And 44-075. Join the next game. This probably also helps people that are trying to lead on the leaderboards. Snap! Welcome, Snappy Assassin! Welcome, Snap. So good to see you. Hope you're doing awesome. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for saying hi. B7, I-26. I can find the 26. How are you doing, Snappy? How are you doing? B15, 074. N42, I-24. Feel free to join this game as well if you like. Available on iOS and Android. It's called the Bingo Room. I'm doing pretty good. Hope you are as well. I am doing good. I'm happy to be here hanging out with you guys and playing tonight. Oh, 62, G48. 62 and 48. I don't have any numbers yet. What's going on? I-22, G56.
I have 5 numbers. None?
G52 and 45. I got a number! Oh, I got 2 numbers! Look at that, finally. I'm like, what? I was like starting to wonder here if like maybe I needed to slow down and double check to make sure I'm actually just not missing them. But no, I legit don't have them. I don't have them. B8, G57. I'm doing pretty good. Hope you are as well. Yeah, 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 yeah. I already read that once. B4, B6. I know, right? Hey, it's better I read it twice than ignore them by accident and not read it at all. I'm being thorough. B3. Oh, 63. N, 32, and 36.
I thoroughly enjoyed my vampire boy.
Oh no, here we go again.
What?
B2, 40. Rain and her vampire boy.
Dragon.
I-20 and I-17.
And I made sure he was a good boy too.
You bite yo yet?
No. Because he's a good boy, he's not a bad boy.
G60, G50.
I made sure he was good.
Turtles, mommy! Pro, we have a pro. 5 wins now. Oh my gosh, you guys gotta step up your game. Oh no, 5
I have
wins.
an auto.
I bet Cody was 1 away again too. I bet Cody was 1 away.
Mighty close.
Are you playing multiple boards? That's the other question. Do you have multiple boards? How many cards are you playing? That's what I just asked Cody. I was like, oh my god, I wonder if Turtle's mommy has like multiple boards they're playing at one time. It's totally possible.
I completely forgot about the multiple boards thing.
Yeah, me too. Kinda.
Clear on that.
I think, yeah, you can add boards. It gives you double the chance of winning. They cost, of course, and then you can buy the auto dower thing.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm using at the moment. Auto
Yeah, that's all I got.
And then N33 and N45.
You have to go to the store and the thingy.
I got an over.
Coins that you were playing.
Sometimes I play multiple. I have a CPL times. Nice. CPL times? A couple times. Okay, okay. You have a couple times. Sweet. I like don't. I'm like, I'm good to keep up the load board. I-24 and G46. But I am streaming and multitasking, so
Be nice.
I don't know.
Nice.
And sharing your brain cell
Be nice.
with the community. I-20. O61. I-20 and O61. B6, I-23. O65, I-21. And O63. O60. Wait, was it not 63 a minute ago? Was it? It was 61, 63, 65, 57. Maybe I'm predicting the next number. Yeah, that's what we'll say. I was predicting the next number. It's telepathy. Yeah. Or something. Telepathy is like mind reading though, right? 50 and 75.
Well, it's communicating telepathically, so yeah.
Yeah. And 40 and 67. G56. G59. 56 and 59. I'm gonna like go back real quick because I feel like I'm not paying attention and then I probably missed something. So guys, this is your chance to catch up. Double check your numbers. Make sure you got all of them. Because I'm doing the same thing. Double checking my numbers. Oh, see, look, I missed one. I found one I missed.
I haven't missed any.
Proud of you. Did good. B9
It's 'cause I'm
and oh, 69. Cheers. At least it's not like whole shots, you know? You'd be in trouble.
That would be a mess.
It's funny actually because I don't.
Are you
drink
16?
anymore, so I'm just drinking bloody cola at the moment.
That's
I
okay.
was drinking Mountain
That's
Dew.
what Rain has. Rain has Mountain Dew. Doesn't have to be alcohol. It could
actually
be
out
water,
of
alcohol,
forgot not to get it.
Mountain Dew, whatever you wish to cheers to. I don't mind.
Lemonade.
Hot tea, whatever you like. E13 and 32. We don't judge here. I'm like so close. I'm like one away. A wild sparrow appeared. Sparrow.
No.
Oh,
I
68,
don't
G48.
really like drinking games. I have too many family members who have addiction problems.
I-17. Ooh. And O70. G49. And then I-26. Getting so close. So many different directions. I'm like, ah! I-25 and 28. There's like so many of us that are one away right now. Crystal, Cody, I'm rooting for you. Jay, Kat, Rain, I'm rooting for you too.
You better,
B3 and 30.
fucker.
I-30. Yeah. Three rotates. I finally got one. Hacks. Hacks. That takes talent, you know. It takes talent to win. You hate this game. Oh no. Cody. I'm so sorry. And I also caught the Pokemon. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, and look, the whole background turns into my beta tester card. Look at that. That's so cool. The whole thingamajig turned into the beta tester. Well done. Thank you, Streamer Luck. Yes. That was my first one of the night. Thank you, guys.
You hold on, fucker.
Cody, I'm ready for you. I win. How close were you, Cody? Were you one away again? Or were you just second to click? Stream delay? I don't know. Were you like right there, almost winning? I was one away on 3 different ones. Oh no. That's terrible. Does that mean I get a sticker if I win another one?
No. You have.
Dang
to.
it.
You're the one who bought
Dang
them.
it. Dang it.
I think it means I get an extra one.
You get an extra one for working so hard.
Yes.
Oh, 69 and 35. Cheers.
Cheers.
I wasn't prepared, guys.
I know, you're slacking. 69 and 35, guys. G54 and I-23. B14 and 42. G60 and 36. 60 and 36. Now we're gonna start singing the numbers. La 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 la. No. I-17 and I-24. B2 and I-20. G50 and N34. I think I'm getting all the numbers this time. What the heck? N34, G49.
That was G43.
Oh.
N43.
G49, N43. Yeah. Numbers, words. 72 and 73. I'm just gonna say the numbers. The letters are too hard. 75 and 62. 11 and 48. I 19 and 44.
I just need a 37.
19 and 44. 15 and 51. Jay! Jay's kicking all our butts.
All I needed was a 37. You should have just let it keep going, man.
I'm sorry.
Congrats, Jay, on your win. Congrats, man. Congrats.
Our Lord and Savior Loki does not forgive you.
33. Oh, not draw 3. We had to draw one more because I messed up. 22. 74 and 20. 69 and 48. I'm out on wine. I gotta drink water. Cheers. I did it backwards too. Since I drank the water, then cheers. Yeah, I think it's time to drink water. 53 and 41. Uh, 29 and 72. 47 and 45. I was just about to say I'm not getting any numbers, and then I finally got one. 23 and 21. 9 and 6 or 69, but separate numbers. So it doesn't count. You'll still drink to that. It's like, because it was like 9 and 6, and then it switches them. You have to drink to that 2 times? Okay. New rule activated. When you get the separate numbers, it equals 69 together. Not added together. You have to drink twice.
Yeah,
There you go.
Again, just shit, because otherwise I'm going back to the toilet.
2 and 56. You need all that water. It's good for you. 25 and 67. This is a water drinking stream. Drink all the water. 31 and 55. 28 and 32. 52 and 35. I'm starved on numbers here tonight. 60 and 37. I know, but I'm not giving you the numbers now. 39 and 38. 36 and 64. Oh, now I get 2. Every time I say something, I get more. 1 and 30. 1 and 73. 1 and 73, guys. 13 and 18. 68 and 62. Oh. Oh, now I'm like all of a sudden 1 away. Along with Dreams and Jay and Lady Rain and Turtle.
Oh shit.
Or no.
I didn't even
Dreams, you are 0 away. What the hell?
No, don't tell him that.
Okay, he's got a chance to figure it out. 30 and 34. I did tell him that. Bingo. Oh, you just beat Turtle's mommy by like a few seconds. If I hadn't said anything, Turtle would have had another win. Uh-huh. I was like, Dreams, you gotta wake up, buddy. All right. 15 and 26. 71 and 6. 65 and 54. 16 and 19. 29 and 34. 9 and 32. 36 and 60. 51 and 70. Just looking real quick. It's like, hold up. Slow down. Check them all. Because I feel like I get lost in myself talking here. 7 and 10. 64. 1. 5 and 46. 24 and 30.
Oh, this is getting interesting.
58, 48. Ah, you guys are getting close. Somebody's got one of those long number names. I forget how that issue used to happen.
Yeah, it's just one that's generated and they just join and don't create it.
318, the guest accounts, yeah. 39 and 28. I think there's a way you can go and relabel them, but I don't remember how.
Yeah,
22 and 38.
Stream 6.
Stream 6.
On our site,
Yeah. 62 and 50. 56, 55. Really? 44 and 37. Not gonna do it. I was waiting. I was like, I'm not gonna push it. I'm not gonna push it. I'm not gonna push it. Congratulations, Cody.
fucking cheaters.
Cody does have a delay though, because I was sitting here going, he just won.
Chat with us.
I know, but I don't know. I was invested in his story. Oh, okay. He was just listening to Dreams' story. So blame Dreams. 18 and 70. Rejoin the match. Next match, guys. 18 and 70. Let's go, let's go. I feel like we're playing speed bingo here. 40 and 55. They do have speed bingo, by the way. 67 and 2. 27 and 53. 65 and 61. 62 and 50. 20 and 39. I got those right next to each other in a row. 9 and 12. 47 and 43. I only need one more. 3 and 48. It looks like. Look at you, back to back, dude. Or almost. Almost. Cody was in there in the middle.
Fucking cheating.
Woohoo! We get a sticker! So DM me your address so I can send you a sticker and pin it so I don't lose it.
It's a sticker.
Yes. You'll get a sticker. Woohoo!
No.
Alright.
It is a sticker.
Pretty much. And if you want to see what the sticker looks like, guys, Big Me, just don't let me forget.
I can see it.
Ta-da! Here.
Yeah.
Ta-da! That's what you get, guys.
Yeah, that's the perfect spot for it.
It's a sticker of my painting, if you're just joining. Of this. Ta-da! A KimonoKat exclusive Halloween sticker.
It was my idea. No. I'm talking about the Halloween sticker. It was my
There we go. Fortress. Catch Pokemon. So cool. Thanks. Thanks for the Leafeon love, Shane. Go too. I-19. Oh, 62. 37 and 61. Better go, guys. We're back in. 16 and 47. Numbers. Just numbers. Just all the numbers. Just 56 and 36. 52 and 13. 45 and 29. 75 and 35. 46 and 28. Oh. 8 and 30. 17 and 44. Yay, I caught the Pokemon. 59 and 73. I'm multitasking. Ah, I hit 3. 11, 64, and 4. We can throw one random in there and throw you guys off.
potty. Can you wait a little bit, baby?
Come on, I'm gonna go down. There we go. 12 and 20.
Behind the door.
1 and 48. 10 and 23. 43 and 68. Speaking of spooky month art, I posted some in Discord. Sweet. I'll have to check it out. Oh, don't stop hitting that. 7 and 15. But yes, spooky art. I will be painting a ghost Eevee. If you guys are familiar with Pokemon, Eevee has lots of evolves, but does not have a ghost or a dragon. Hey, yeah, I'm on Big Me this whole freaking time. But I guess as long as you guys are in the game, it doesn't matter. Because you're all looking at your phones anyway. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna drink some water and breathe. Crystal and Turtles Mommy are 1 away, guys. Cody's 2 away. Dreams is 2 away. Let's go, guys. 63 and 40. You're all 2 away.
I'm so close.
66 and 34.
Fuck, that's not the one I needed either.
3 and 71.
Ow.
39 and 65.
No. What's the numbers?
14 and 50. Congratulations, Lady Rain! You made it to the board!
That wasn't the one I was looking for, but
That is their first win. 69, 69, 420. 420 is not on the
I
board.
was hoping for 69 because that was the first one I saw that I could get a bingo on.
If we had 420 numbers on this card, how unreal would that be?
Oh god.
I hit bingo too! No!
I hit it first.
Ah!
What? I was so racist by it.
Oh no! But did need 42, LL. He did need 42. Not 420, but 42. 39 and 34. Good night, dreams.
I love dipping out and coming back in, so it's just no innuendos.
64 and 47.
Like pulling out, huh?
Oh my gosh.
You just gotta keep people
5 and 72.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Alright. Bye.
Alright.
Keep playing. 24 and 29. I just hit draw 3. Uh-oh. 66, 74, 23. 66, 74, 23. 50 and 25. 15 and 63. 18 and 60. 37 and 54. 35 and 43. 3 and G55. G57 and I20. See if I have 57. I don't. 21 and 61. 31 and 75. I had both those. 14 and 12. 10 and 42. Oh. 8 and 70. 22 and 38. 65 and 71. Turtles, mommy! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Congratulations! You are like the all-time winner here. I'm glad I'm helping your level. You are leveling up.
Congrats.
How many wins is that now? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins. Congratulations. Woohoo! I needed 36 for like the last 5 draws. No. I was one away fast and then it let me down. No! So close, so many times. GG, yes, GG guys. Good job, good job. Alright, we're gonna go again. 33. 70. 51 and 23. 47 and 50. 40 and 59. 46 and 18. 41 and 42. 21 and 64. 55 and 74. 1 and 24. 57 and 69. You got 69. Cheers. Stay hydrated. 35 and 75. I must not have drank enough today. I haven't had to get up and take a bathroom break yet. 11, 32, and 48. 11, 32, and 48. It's no wine. I'm out. I'm out of wine. It's empty. So it's hydration time. It's empty. And I have no one here to fill my cup, so... sad.
She's not allowed to have more.
43 and 65. 52 and 56. 19 and 53. Bingo! Wow, that was just fast. Holy cow. That was fast.
She's good.
Uh-huh.
She's good.
I hope for sure you go play the Powerball tomorrow, guys. I don't even know what it's at now. Does anybody know what it's up to now? I'm playing the Powerball tomorrow. I'm buying a ticket. Buying a ticket tomorrow. Just saying. Let's see what it's at real quick. You need to stop. Aww. But there's global goals for you. I completely get it. It's like the grind. It's like doing the marbles grind. You gotta keep going so you can stay ahead of the pack and get to the top with the most wins for the season and all that good stuff.
Am I gonna be in trouble for corrupting a child? Oh no.
1.4 billion is the Powerball. So yeah, tomorrow night, guys. 1.4 billion. Yep. 28 and 47. Powerball ticket. $1.4 billion. Wait, that's not enough. 28 and 47. 66 and 56. That is totally enough. 20 and 24. I'm happy when I win $500. Let's just say that. 30 and 38. That's the most I've ever won on anything. Most I've ever won on a ticket was a scratcher. And I won $500. 3 and 36. But it was still worth it. 44 and 71. 23 and 37. Let's see. 2 and 7. 25 and 49. Oh, not they're all fake. 63 and 51. 27 and 29. 42 and 65. 21 and 62. 26 and 58. 16 and 40. Hey, Cody, with that much, you can buy Twitter. Buy it back from Elon and make it a better thing. Just
I
kidding.
don't think you could offer Elon Musk enough money to sell.
For 53?
Second
Probably not. 43 and 74.
sort of median, I know it.
Rename it back to Twitter. Get rid of the X name.
That would be nice.
48 and 64. You like Elon? Finally. You get a sticker, Cody. Congrats, congrats, congrats.
Be right back.
Alrighty. I think I got one more game in me, and then we're probably gonna call it. Rain, you gotta win this round.
Yeah, because I need 2 stickers.
You do. You can step up your game. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. I'm so glad you finally won, though, Cody. Let's see. Poke catch. Ultra ball. There we go. Are you guys ready to join one more game? You were making me look up every number just to see if you already had it. Alright. Draw 3. We're gonna do draw 3 this time. Let's see how fast this goes. Let's see how fast. And who gets bingo first with draw 3. Let's test our brain cells that we don't have tonight. 53, 42, 72. 53, 42, 72. 21, 14, and 35. 21, 14, 35. 1, 13, and 23. I finally had 2 numbers. 63, 24, 59. 63, 24, 39. 15, 32, 68. You've already got a few people 2 away. Hi, Frankenator Gaming! Oh my gosh, welcome to the stream, Frankenator! 18, 33, 66. 18, 33, 66. Oh, I'm pushing the wrong buttons. 17, 16, 50. 17, 16, 50. How are you doing? I hope you're also doing awesome. Aw, thank you for the Cillian love. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. 43, 40, and 30. I hope life's treating you well. What games you playing? What you up to? Games. 71, 64, and 56. So 56, 64, and 71. Number order. Threw you guys off. Did I get 64? No. 22, 28, 75. I kind of like mixing them up, doing them in order. Guess I'm playing. 49, 61, 62. Cody! That's just it. We weren't going fast enough for Cody. We were not doing enough numbers for Cody. We were not. He needed the 3 numbers at a time in order to win and break his bad luck. I figured out a hack. Hacks. Right? I mean, we can go one more round to see if you'll break your bad luck.
It's not gonna happen.
It was kind of fun doing the 3, though. I think I'll do one more. It was kind of fun. Not gonna lie, it was kind of fun doing 3. I won't keep my hopes up, but I think Five Nights at Freddy's will be finally collabing with Fortnite this Tuesday's Halloween update since the movie's coming out. Oh, that would be cool! Which one? The Pokemon I got? Or Flan? Flan. It's Flan, right? Flan. I called it Flan. Yeah. I was like, the Pokemon. Oh my god. Words are hard. We made it to 300. Words are hard. Alright, last fire round. 3 at a time. Let's go.
If you lay down, I'll take you out in a little bit. Lay down, Bubba. I'll take you out after this game.
Last call. Last call for bingo tonight. Here we go. Are you ready, Rain? Let's go. 20, 27, and 7. 15, 53, 64. 15, 53, 64. 28, 32, 45. 28, 32, 45. I'm trying to get to 2,000 mingles. Oh my god, that's a lot. 10, 21, 36. 10, 21, 36. 30, 35, 62. 30, 35, 62. 43, 50, 69. Woohoo! Drink some water! I wonder how many games it takes to earn 2,000 bingles. 2, 9, 56. 2, 9, 56. 11, 55, 73. 11, 55, 73. 17, 26, 48. 17, 26, and 48. 5, 57, 58. 5, 57, 58. 3, 44, 67. 3, 44, 67. 16, 41, 59. 16, 41, 59. 1, 34, 52. 1, 34, 52. 12, 54, 46. 12, 46, 54. I don't think I got any of those. Oh yeah, I did. A 12. Y'all guys gotta be getting close. Look how many y'all went away. You ready? Here goes. 4, 49, 70. 24, 25, 74. Congratulations, Cody! I think you broke your bad luck officially. That is the trick. Cody only wins, or mostly wins, or has a higher chance of winning, however you want to look at it, when we do speed bingo and we do 3 numbers in a row.
I only need 31. 31.
I needed quite a few numbers that were
Oh. Alright, well thank you all guys. Thank you so much for playing with me tonight. Thank you for hanging out. 13 would have done it too, and 65, so you had it so many different ways. That's awesome. It's nice to meet you, Turtles Mommy, and thank you for checking in, Frankinator Gaming. It's so good to see you. It's awesome. But I hope to play some more bingo. Maybe we'll play bingo again in a couple weeks. This was fun. I have lots of stickers to give away, so I gotta come up with ways for you guys to win stickers. So also stay tuned for art streams. I will be doing Ghost Eevee Evolution. If you're not familiar with Ghost Eevee Evolution, it does not exist. This is a made-up thing. How do you evolve the Pokemon Eevee into a ghost? With a brick. We won't talk about how morbid that is, but you know, most Pokemons require different things in order to evolve. Ghost Eevee came from a brick. Poor Eevee. But it's going to be a gorgeous Ghost Evolution version of Eevee, and I can't wait to get started on that. So stay tuned for that stream. And if you follow me, if you're out there on social media, give me a follow. If you want to join my Discord, feel free to join my Discord. Thank you guys for hanging out. And I will catch you guys next time. Let's go do some things. Let's go look. Anybody else playing bingo right now? Just curious. Anybody playing bingo right now? Let's go look real quick. Just take a peek. Let's see if anybody's playing bingo on stream. The bingo room. I forgot. It's the bingo room now. Ta-da!
Alright, I'm
Oh, okay. Good to see you.
Yeah, you do.
Thank you for playing.
Next poker. Yeah. Or
Thanks. Poker, bingo, poker.
I got a text
Probably
message
the same
about
thing.
a poker game coming up. Oh, what?
Ah.
Sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, it's all good.
Very, very sneaky.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Alright, y'all take it easy.
You too, you too. Alright guys, get hyped, get ready. Standard Damage is playing the bingo room as well today. So we're gonna raid Standard Damage. You probably, if you've ever played marbles, he is also a marbles streamer. Very well known in the community. Awesome all around guy. So we're gonna go raid him and say hi as he is playing bingo too. So copy pasta if you have my emails. Do the thing. Why did it put a period on that? Is that normal? It's still going now, it's fine. It's still working. But yeah, thank you guys so much for streaming tonight. Thank you for hanging out. We're gonna go close with the end credits real quick here, and I will meet you guys over there. Thank you again. Catch you next stream. Bye everyone.